Hey, Miss Lucy. Sorry I couldn't take you on the trail with me. Don't be mad. Okay? Maybe we can go on the trail together next time, but it's a little long for a beagle. You miss the trail, Lucy? Daddy's got to go out again tomorrow, Lucy. Got to go out again tomorrow. You can't go, though. Sorry. No can do. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I made it back here to Julian with my wife and overnighted in a nice little suite here, beautiful little suite at the Apple Tree Inn. Got everybody together again, which has made somebody really happy. Choose to go through my gear. She's been checking out my gear regularly since I've been home. Giving me a little gear shakedown, as you can see. That's her version of a shakedown. As you can see, the weather's turning out to be just as crappy as it was in Mount Laguna, except without as much wind. But it's about 39 degrees and raining, and it's super nice to have a good room indoors and to be able to dry out, do all my essentials like uploading my blogs and videos, doing my laundry, resupplying, eating a lot of food, good food here in the town of Julian. There's a lot of fantastic places to do that, even given that you have to hike a long way to get in here if you're unlike me and don't have transportation. That's the motel there I'm staying at. It was quite old and run down and got a lot of bad reviews in the past, but it changed management several months ago and they're renovating the rooms and they're actually turning out quite nice. If you look up just above that red Dodge in the distance, you can see a room up on top. That's the suite that we're staying in. It's very, very nice, and it was really good to wake up there in the morning. My body's feeling really strong today. I got a good night's sleep, and I can tell that I'm finally, my body's adjusting to carrying the pack, and it's getting stronger. My feet are a concern. I have blisters on my left feet that hurt a lot, but I just need to manage that, and I think I can. Other pain I'm managing with ibuprofen. There's a fine line sometimes between just aches and pains and injuries. I think I just got some pains right now and no injuries at all, except for the blisters on my feet, so I have to do better with those. One other area I got a little better with, I left in weather about like this yesterday. By later in the day, the clouds had cleared off. It was still cool, but I wasn't wearing a hat because my hat kept blowing off, and I didn't put one on, and my face is fairly sunburned, so I'm gonna have to do a better job of managing my skin protection for sure going out. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna zero here today, get out of here at just before sun up in the morning and hit the trail. My wife's headed back to Utah, and so I'm gonna feel a little bit lonely out there knowing that I can't just pick up the phone and call her when I need to and have her meet me somewhere, but I'm really happy to have this time here and to be able to get some rest today and tend to my injuries and do all the maintenance things that I need to do. I'm eating more. Yesterday I had a fair size lunch for me, and then I had a big pizza last night to myself and a couple of beers, and it was really good to have some non-trail food. So I'll be seeing you on the trail by tomorrow, if not a little later today, with an update. Well, okay there. Good morning. As you can see, I finally hit the trail again, and after threatening bad weather again all night, again it's turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. It's cool, but it's not windy, and it sure as heck isn't raining, and that's good enough for me. My wife just dropped me off. I had 2 nights in a really nice suite there in Julian. Got a good chance to rest up, work on dealing with my blisters, getting them better, get lots of good food, plenty of rest, and I'm anxious to get moving. So I just left Scissors Crossing and I'm headed toward Warner Springs. I'll get there tomorrow if everything goes okay. It's a fairly dry section of the trail, and I got an extra treat. I was up early this morning because I wasn't able to sleep too good, and I read in the water report that some trail angels have deposited a large cache of water, resupplied it at about 14 miles up the road. So my water issues between Warner Springs and here are pretty much taken care of. One of the things I wanted to do was talk just a little bit about the trail, what to expect. I'm going through this low, dry area, arid. I won't exactly call it desert, but arid. And the trail right now is just a very nice sandy trail, kind of the standard tread width, very pleasant to walk on. It's got some ups and downs, but they're not bad right now. Now, by the end of the day, I would have climbed something like 1,900 feet. So there's clearly going to be a lot of ups. I wished it were only 1,900 feet, but my experience tells me it's probably going to be at least twice that, because every time I go up, I'm going to go back down some and then have to regain that distance. But I'm looking forward to it. My spirits are really high right now. Some pain in my foot, but it's under control. It's being managed, and I'm gonna get going. I'll check back with you guys a little later, and we'll see where we're at, what's going on. Well, been hiking for about 45 minutes, maybe a little more, and gaining altitude quickly. If you look carefully up here, you can see the trail moving along here, back up there somewhere, zigzagging up that hill. So got quite a climb ahead of me, but I'm still feeling really good, and I'm going to carry you guys up that hill. Well, time to give you guys an update in case you've been sleeping back there. We're looking back over toward the mountains that I hiked out of on Friday. If you look to the far right, there's another range of mountains over that way, and I came around there to the face of those, and somewhere down the middle might be that trail that you can see off just slightly to the left coming down, is where I came down to Scissors Crossing. It's 9 o'clock now. I've hiked up this mountain. I'm probably about 6 miles up. I'm about to fall over too because I dropped my stick there. But the hike's going really good today. The trail's in super condition. I've only had one small catastrophe, and that's that I lost the jam nut on my camera mount, which is why I'm currently holding this by hand. But I got an idea for a solution I'll share with you guys a little bit later in the day, and then hopefully by tomorrow we'll be getting better pictures. I crossed 80 miles of the hike, not too far back, and I'm going to be crossing 90 today, and I'm moving on, feeling good. I hope you guys are enjoying the scenery. Just to show, we're up in these kind of deserty rocks, a lot of cacti of different species, a lot of rocks, not much wildlife, but plenty of flora at least. And it's just real pleasant. For the third consecutive hiking day, I haven't seen anybody on the trail. I see footprints ahead of me now indicating that we have more hikers than we had before, but they're ahead of me and nobody's really coming up behind me in the distance. If they were, we'd be able to see them over here on this mountain somewhere. So I'm going to carry on. Got a water cache about 7-8 miles ahead, and I'll stop there and water up and then hike a few more miles and throw my camp down and just enjoy the desert and hopefully the quiet, and get a chance to talk with you guys some then. Let's sign off for now. Talk more later. Okay, I'm glad we all made it. This is the infamous Third Gate water cache. Water caches are sometimes marked on the trail, but you can't rely on them because it's no sure bet that there will actually be water or that it will be full or anything else. These people run this thing every year, as far as I understand. They have a place to put your trash or your used bottles there, and they ask you that you limit yourself to 3 liters max. It saves you from carrying too much water in the summer. This place is particularly dry, but this water cache here helps people get through that pretty good. So I'm gonna sit down, have me some water, and I'm going to take my shoes off for a bit, take a good break, and then I've got a few more miles to go up the road. Okay, well, since I'm here for a while, I thought I'd drop my backpack and take a break, have lunch. Today's lunch is gallo salami and provolone cheese. And I gotta say, I haven't been taking breaks like this, so this is really nice. I took my foot off, or I took my shoe off my foot and my socks off, let my socks dry out some more. I started the morning trying to prepare my war wounds, as it were. And I did that by putting moleskin on the ball of my left foot, which has the blister. I can't say it's helped too much. And the blister on my small toe of my left foot looks like it may have gotten larger, but it certainly isn't hurting at all, unlike the one on the ball of my foot. Now, it hasn't hurt too much because the other thing I did was pop some ibuprofen, which I'm going to be doing again soon here in just a few minutes, but a little bit before I get ready to set out. Trying to prevent injuries has been a bit of an issue. I think it's got a lot to do with my walking style. I do, when I started this morning, I just felt fantastic. And I really felt pretty good most of the day. I feel like, were I mind to do so, I could walk 3 miles an hour pretty easy. But I'm trying to figure out what combination works for me between how fast I should walk, how much time should I break in between walking, and how long should I walk during the day. I don't know what the answers are on those. I know my brain tells me walk 3 miles an hour for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, but my body is protesting that, and so I'm just going to have to work till I find the right balance. My feet aren't hurting too much today, but the blister's not pretty, and hopefully it'll get better in the next few days. If it does, I have hopes that I'm starting to get conditioned well enough now that I can get some big miles in the not too distant future on a fairly consistent basis. It's about 14.1 miles to the cutoff to this water stop, and there's a register to sign there. But then you got to walk about 0.3 miles down a small trail, down a hill to get down here where it's actually at. So it's wonderful that there's water, but sure is hard to take the decision to walk that extra 0.6 of a mile round trip, given that I was doing pretty good on water anyway. In fact, I only consumed about 3/4 of a liter of water this morning over that 14 miles, largely in part because I cameled up back at the hotel, plenty of water before I left. And so I'm feeling good. It's a nice cool day, not too hot, not sweating a lot or anything, so I haven't probably consumed as much water. At any rate, since I got here, I've been drinking some Gatorade to go with my salami and provolone, and I'm gonna just sit down and force myself to take a break here for maybe up to an hour. It's only about 12:30, and there's no reason I shouldn't relax for a while before I head off and walk probably another 3 or 4 miles to my campsite for tonight. So I'm going to get there, get set up, and I'll let you guys know where we're at and what the plan is for tomorrow maybe. I did pass 90 miles today, so our first plan of business for tomorrow is to pass 100 miles, something I never really thought I could do. And finally, the other thing is that this is my last my last day of my first week on the PCT, and I'm pretty pleased with my progress. As my youngest son sometimes say, could be better, but it's fine the way it is. All right, I'll let you guys get back to playing cards or whatever you're doing, and we'll talk a little later. Bye. Earlier in the day, I was showing you some really dry, arid desert area without much vegetation, but as we've been hiking through the day, we're now getting into more verdant green areas, and it's just a change. It just kind of goes to show that if you keep putting one foot in front of another, over time you eventually get somewhere. Well, okay, as you can see, we got an absolutely beautiful campsite on the side of this hill, and once again we got it to ourselves. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I really took my time setting up the tent. I got here quite early because I started early this morning. And I hiked strong. I felt good. I made good miles. Hiked around 20 miles. I've got to check my GPS to see exactly what I did, but my feet feel to be in good shape. My body's in good shape, so I'm really hopeful that I'm finally starting to hit my stride. A lot of experienced hikers say it takes about 100 miles, and I've hiked just under that. I could have made 100 miles today, but there's not much good camping right around the area that the 100-mile marker would be. Everything's going great. I ate a lot more food today as I was on the trail. I feel super for that. The trail was just a really nice tread today, very comfortable, very few places that were rocky or extremely steep, mostly just up and not a bunch of ups and downs. So it's exactly what I was hoping for when I came to hike this trail, and I'm really enjoying it. Tomorrow we're going to get up and head into Warner Springs. That's about 10-11 miles away, and I'm going to spend a little time at the community center, maybe doing some of my internet work, uploading files and doing a little bit of resupply. I got one bad piece of news today from a hiking point of view. My twin probably won't be around to be a trail angel, resupply me or pick me up from Idlewild or the I-10 area for the foreseeable future. My older sister is taking a turn for the worst with her radiation and chemo treatment. She's doing both, and so my twin needs to go take care of her, which, believe ye me, is a much more important thing than what I'm doing, and certainly a much bigger challenge. So I'm going to keep hiking until I know a little bit more about her condition, and if need be, I'm going to take some time off the trail and go be with her. If not, I'm going to be here with you, bringing you along with me and having a good time. So let's get in here. I'm going to cook me some dinner pretty quick, and we'll have a good meal, and we'll call it a night. Get up early in the morning, probably an hour or two before daylight, and hit the trail. Good morning. Hope we didn't wake you up too early. Got on the trail quite early. The biggest difference between today and yesterday is that yesterday I started at 6:30, and I was coming from a hotel. Today I was out on the trail, or yesterday I was, and this morning I got up, packed up my tent at about 5 and hit the trail. I'm not sure about the wisdom of that, other than I want to get to Warner Springs fairly early today to get a few things done in town and maybe leave early this evening. But it was dark on the trail. It was a little bit hard to find my way around, tripping a bit, mostly missing the scenery, and I didn't really want to do that. As you can see here, perhaps behind me, we've now moved into a much, much greener area, and low rolling hills. Right now the trail's really sandy, but it's been packed dirt and stuff. Not many rocks, really good condition most of the way. Not many big ups and downs or anything. So a pleasant hike. It's a bit cool, probably right now in the upper 30s, maybe 40. I'm doing without a jacket. I was wearing gloves earlier because it warms up pretty quick, but if I had it to do again, I would have probably started with that jacket. We passed 100 miles about, a little over a mile ago, and we're headed up here for Eagle Rock, which is about 5-6 miles up the road, and then into Warner Springs. All right, guys, hop up here on top and I'll give you a lift in. We finally made it into Warner Springs to the community center, and they do an awful lot of good things for hikers here, including allowing them to camp out here. Look over to the left, they've got a place there that I guess somewhere you can wash your clothes and hang them out on the line to dry. They've got a room just around here to my left where you can go in and go through your gear. I guess if the weather's really bad, you can stay in there. They have internet, a place for you to charge your devices. And I guess if there were other people here, we're a little bereft of that, but if there were, you could have good conversation with your fellow hikers. There's also here at Warner Springs a set of bathrooms at the community center, and a place where you can take bucket showers. Doesn't sound very appealing, but I understand they at least give you hot water. And what was that other thing? Anyway, about a half hour ago, I made my way up to the golf club and found the restaurant there and sat down and had myself a prime rib sandwich, so I'm fit to go.